You're listening to Pato's Powerhouse. Pato's Powerhouse text line 602 529 7273. You're listening to Pato's Powerhouse.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's podcast. This is Pato, and I'd like to thank you, for tuning in. I know there is options out there. There are many options because everyone and their dog now seems to have a podcast. I mean, celebrities are jumping in on this left and right. I mean, just about every aspiring actor has one. So competition it's hard, man. There's a lot of competition out there, and thank you for tuning in. Now, we've been doing this going on 2 years. I mean, started as Pato the Ghostwriter, which is now is Pato's Powerhouse, your little 15-minute bite-sized podcast, where I update you on what we're doing in Cursory Overload, which is like the flagship podcast, I guess, if you want to say that. Dang, we're in trouble, aren't we? No, I'm just saying, Cursory Overload, which K-Dog and I get together via the magic of the interwebs and bring you a show from coast to coast, basically. He's over on the East Coast, and while I'm over here in the Wild West. So we get together and we talk all kinds of shit, and we bring you, the tools to fight the boredom monster one episode at a time. Reb-alien, it's a new show that is going to be a clean version of sort of what we do here, talking about comic books and movies and all the stuff that we normally talk about here without turning it into something fucked up like we usually do. Alright, so anyway, Cursory Overload, www.cursoryoverload.com. You can go check it out, or go to Spreaker, type in Cursory Overload. In fact, just go to Google and type in Cursory Overload, and you're gonna find it. Listen, check it out. Which reminds me, I was telling K-Dog the other day that there's this other podcast that started around the same time as we did. In 2017. But these motherfuckers have taken the show on the road. I mean, and I guess they're more comedy based, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I was listening to them, and yes, I had podcast envy, and I texted K-Dog, fucker, we need to step up our game, and he's like, yeah, we do. So I'm telling him, no holds barred, no nothing. I mean, and I'm just saying, if we say shit and somebody gets butthurt, I mean, hey, so what? And let's see if we can push it to that. Actually, I think that's a nice little concept. I love to be able to do this podcasting in front of a crowd, be like, hey, interact with people, so you can get to see why Pato's always warned you that he has a face specially made for radio. So, okay, jokes aside, all I'm saying is, if I'm saying anything, is I am glad that you are here. Thank you for tuning in. Going on the same subject, that just about everyone and their dog has a podcast. Celebrities have podcast shows everywhere, left and right. I don't know if some of y'all are old enough to remember YouTube when it first came out, before Google bought it, when there was only like 9,000, 10,000 people there, and some guy named Lazy Dork was like the king of YouTube, and then there was this Lonely Girl 15 or something, and everyone thought she was like a real girl, just pouring her heart out to the interwebs and living out her story. But as it turns out, it was a scripted show, And this lazy dork guy kept telling everyone that it was a scripted show, and everybody was like, fuck off, hater, and this and that. And as it turned out, she was an actress. Well, anyway, back in the day when YouTube was YouTube and it was just meant to be you, me, and not meant for celebrities because it was YouTube, but then the celebrities got in and they eventually took over. Then as Google bought it, they monetized the fuck out of it, and YouTube is what it is nowadays, where surprisingly some of these kids nowadays see being YouTubers as a career. Wow. Anyway, I'm just saying that, well, if you remember that, and you're familiar with TikTok now. TikTok, that little app that everyone's using and watching themselves reenacting scenes from different movies or different sound clips. I mean, and other people think that the Chinese are spying on us through TikTok. And people whine about how cops shouldn't be doing TikToks because they're wasting precious resources. Although I gotta, fuck what everybody says. I think that's pretty fucking cool because it humanizes them. It lets you see that the people wearing that fucking badge are people like you and me. Anyway, that's just my humble opinion. But what I'm saying is that now TikTok apparently is having a celebrity invasion. I mean, I know Gabriel Iglesias is on it, Will Smith, and I don't know who else. But all of a sudden, I guess these fuckers realize that, hey, they're not watching us anymore. They're watching themselves. So all of a sudden, they're invading TikTok. And I see some people right there griping the same thing that others were griping back in the day when Paris Hilton and a whole bunch of other celebrities started getting into YouTube. Like, get the fuck out of here. We need to get them the fuck out, because TikTok is, well, like the people's. But if it's anything like YouTube, it's an uphill battle. I mean, because you got people that will sell their souls really quick and they'll follow celebrities like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, that being said, I just had to say that because I started talking about how celebrities every motherfucker now has a podcast and YouTubes and TikToks, and regardless, the main idea was I've spent the last 7 minutes telling you all this shit just so that I can thank you very much for tuning in to my humble episode. Because, well, as you know, Pato is who the fuck is you, right? In fact, that's what I was telling K-Dog. 2020, we should speak it out there in the universe. Take cursory overload for a tour, do different venues and talk to different people and interact with people because, hey, I think that would be some cool shit. Obviously, since y'all don't know who the fuck we are, cursory overload, who the fuck is you tour is what I wanted to do. But he came up with something else, cursory overload, giving it to you in the butt 2020 or something like that. I don't know what this fucker's obsession in the butt things, but anyway, we'll have to address that next cursory overload episode. Okay, got that out of the way. Let's see what else. Let's see. I fucked up my back installing a stove. Yeah, my house, the stove took a shit and short-circuited, and I figured instead of calling professionals, I'd save a few bucks by going down to the Sears outlet place, buying a stove and bringing it back and installing it myself, right? Well, over at the Sears outlet place, I had plenty of help putting the stove in the car. When I got home with it, let's just say there was nobody really to help me out. Dayguard lives a good 45 minutes away, and at that time, it seemed easy. And, as we were bringing it down, the other people that were helping me couldn't really handle the stove, so it started to slide down. So here comes Pato to the rescue, and I grab the fucking stove and save it from falling. And in the process, fucked up my back. I knew it. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna hurt. But it didn't. I continued working. It didn't hurt till the following day. It manifested itself when I was working, and I went to work a couple days like that. I had to, eventually call off and go to the doctor. Yes, I went to the fucking doctor, and they gave me some good shit, and I'm still probably having residues. It's been a while. It's been at least 10 hours since I took the last pill, because for some reason those muscle relaxers last a long ass time in my system, in my brain. They keep me groggy. And so bottom line, if this episode sounds loopy and shit, blame it on the drugs. Prescription drugs, that is. Alright, now that I said that, okay, be on the lookout for the next episode of Cursory Overload. K-Dog and I gotta get together and talk some more shit and start to roll out a plan of how, when, and where, and if we're gonna take this motherfucker on tour, which I personally would like to. It's time for us to start meeting people. I don't give a shit if it's only 2-3 people in front of us. In fact, I don't give a shit if we start touring and it's only a little room with 5 people around it. And you know what? Fuck it. They can take part in the podcast. We can interact, exchange ideas. I love to talk to people and just get out there, Another thing is Reb-alien. It's the new show, which will be about magazines, comic books, movies. Also, there's reb-alien.com, which is going to be like, a way to help us continue this. You can go in there and get some merchandise. There's a link to a Bonfire t-shirt store that has Cursory Overload merchandise and all that stuff. And it's mainly to help us keep going, and maybe to even fund those tours, because with that motherfucker living in the East Coast and me over here, well, it's kind of hard to just say, hey, so maybe y'all can help us make this happen. I'm just saying, you got the power. You got the bucks. Please, spare a few, buy a t-shirt, or get some comic books. Eventually, we'll get those up there in the website, reb-alien.com. R-E-B-A-L-E-N, Reb as in rebellious alien. Anyway, what else? Now that I've done that, Tales from the Guard Shack. Eventually, we plan to bring that back because it's a show that was created and designed to promote and uplift people that work in the security field, because security guards turned podcasters. Obviously we have a lot of respect for security guards. And everyone that puts on a uniform and provides safety for us people, When we go to theme parks and shit like that, and we're enjoying ourselves, those people are out there wearing the uniforms, keeping us safe. So big ups to them. We plan to bring that back, and we're gonna be more cautious so that we don't endanger nobody's livelihoods. I had to erase a few episodes because of shit that would have given away our position and their position, and we were putting some people in a bad spot. So that's not what we're about here. Not now, not ever. All right. Okay, that being said, thank you for tuning in. This is just some snack I wanted to talk, and thank you for all the support. We've been doing this for almost 2 years. Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe that? Almost 2 years of Pato's Powerhouse and Cursory Overload. Thank you very much, and live each day like it's your last one, because it very well could be. Take the time to be with your loved ones. Tell them you love them, show them you love them. Because, tomorrow's not promised to anyone, and when it's all said and done, family, your group, your tribe, the people that complete you, That's what life's about, really. You know what I'm saying? That's what life's really about. Ugh.